DBT is the gold standard treatment for individuals diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. The goal of DBT is to basically teach individuals with borderline personality coping skills to utilize on a regular basis,
so that they have what we call a life worth living.
The 4 different modules of DBT are distress tolerance,
which this isn't something that solves life's problems, but it helps you get through those bad moments so you don't do things you regret later on.
Mindfulness is an important aspect of DBT because it teaches individuals to focus on the here and now and stay in this moment. Something that we tell our individuals is there's enough suffering in the here and now that you don't need to worry about the past or the future. There's nothing you can do to change the past. There's nothing you can do about the future right now. So staying here focused on the present is the best course of action. And it helps with depression and anxiety symptoms to focus on the here and now.
We work on emotion regulation. That's another module. And that is the goal is so that we manage our emotions rather than, or we control our emotions versus our emotions controlling us.
And then we have interpersonal effectiveness, which is to help improve relationships or to start new healthy ones.
Typically what happens is each individual will go through our training program for a full year. And within that year, they're doing weekly meetings of our skills group. The way the skills group schedule goes is they'll have interpersonal effectiveness twice, distress tolerance twice, emotion regulation twice, and then they'll have mindfulness between each section.
Mindfulness techniques that are incorporated into sessions. In our program, we have skills training groups, and these groups run weekly. And as part of those, because we're teaching the skills during the 2-hour group, the first 15 minutes to 20 minutes of every single group, we practice a mindfulness exercise. It can be silent, it could be meditation, it could be something just getting people distracted. And it's important enough that we want to keep practicing different things so they can be exposed to it.
There is no hierarchy. I always tell my clients, I work for you, and that's the truth. I work for you. My job is to assist you with your life worth living. We're just 2 people in a room working on whatever the client's goals are. It's nice to be able to be real with folks too. And so if we can really work on that collaboration and that relationship and talk about it like it's real, it's professional and it's a real relationship. That's pretty critical in establishing that trust so that they get everything that they want out of DBT.
I think how we walk the walk with the person and we practice things alongside the person is, it works because they see us as more human, and we can practice alongside of them, and then they can see on certain days, maybe I'm the one who's struggling during the mindfulness exercise where they thought it was great. We can even use ourselves as a bad example sometimes because there is no person who does everything right all the time. You can know the skills, and that's not what DBT is. DBT is about practicing the skills, and if you don't practice, we're here because we're going to remind you that you must practice, and we're going to help you get around what's getting in the way of practicing.
A lot of times they do the orientation piece with their clinician. That's when they would, ask them if they would like to work with a peer, kind of explain to them what it is, what a peer would help them with. And then at that time we can, begin helping them.
The DBT team has a consult meeting every week. Anybody who's participating in DBT, any of the participants, they are aware that the team is meeting, that we work tightly as a team.
Our focus is on ourselves. So we're not talking about the clients as what problems they're having per se, but rather what is my problem? What am I doing ineffectively that's not helping produce the outcome that the client is wishing for?
We have a board where everybody on the team goes on that board and puts what is their stress level at home, at work? Are they feeling burnt out? Then we have a section where they can shout out kudos to people, or they could talk about the elephant that's in the room.
We use a scale of 1 to 5. Anything above a 3, you have to talk about DBT skills that you're utilizing to help you to deal with whatever's going on.
Seeing people come so far, it's like it's a proud moment, knowing that I was able to guide them along the way too. But they did most of the work.
We've had a lot of high success, and I think, there are some that really stand out. Our peer, for example, she did go through DBT. She was a graduate. She's very open about it, and that's great. So it's nice to see those. But I also think about it in terms of people who are so symptomatic when they come in, and their focus for that year, and our focus was keeping them alive. We had to keep reminding people that you promised to try and stay alive. They signed a contract to commit to trying to stay alive. When I see that person and they've made it through the year and those behaviors are gone, that tells me the program works.